Let me get the link here. I gotta get a link to it.
All right. You there?
Yeah, I'm getting the link to the game here.
Okay.
Um, all right. I just posted the link. So it looks like Seattle's gonna receive the kickoff here, and Wilson's gonna come in out of the pistol set. Chris Carson behind him is the lone setback. Tommy Bohannon actually beside him there in the pistol. He's gonna hand it off to Carson. He's gonna cut right, go up the middle there for a gain of about 3 yards. Not a bad little play there. Get the playoff nerves going on here. I know both these guys. Playoff football is way different than any other football you're gonna play here. So hopefully we either see guys turtle up, and I think that's what happened to the Packers earlier today. Did you watch that game between the Packers and Giants?
I got to see bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole game, but yeah, it was a back and forth game. All game.
Yeah.
It came down to the final possession.
Yeah, and I think with that, the big thing was Rodgers didn't play that well at all. It's almost like the Packers were playing to not lose the game, and they just didn't seem like they were the Packers we had seen in the regular season.
I
Um,
agree.
and that's something we could totally see here, as we're gonna see Seattle's going 5 wide here on 3rd and 7 here.
I like it,
Yeah, Wilson's gonna drop
and
back
he
to throw,
stopped.
stepping up. He's gonna actually step up and run with it, and he's gonna be wrapped up there. Not good. Not going to get that first down there, just short, as Jordan Hicks made a big play on the ball there. He stepped up and wrapped him up, and it looked like there was another Cardinal in there to bring him on down. So that'll receive the Cardinals. They're going to receive the punt here, number 34. Not sure who he is. We'll get back to you on that one, as he cuts it up to about the 28-yard line now. As Arizona's got the ball, and the new MVP of the Rejects League, Kyler Murray. He
And
had,
also rookie of the year for the NFC.
yeah, he swept about just about any award you can think of, and
Starting off at 5 wide right off the bat.
I mean that's a staple of this Arizona spread
Mhm.
offense. They go to it more than probably about any other team in the NFL. As Kyler's going to drop back to throw, he's looking, fired, and dumping it off into the deep drag route there to David Johnson. So he's going to spin and get about 8 yards there. Easy completion there for Mr. Murray, and he also made the Pro Bowl too, as we had seen. And he threw to another Pro Bowler there, David Johnson. Those two guys have really been a staple of this Arizona
Yeah,
offense.
this is
That's
definitely
played
one of
very
the better
well.
offenses in this league with fourth in total offense. Kyle Murray averaging 300 passing yards a game, league high.
Oh, good big cut there by David Johnson there. Took an outside handoff there, and the Arizona was able to seal the edge and cut it up there for about a gain of 7 there. It's a nice healthy run there off tackle, getting in the shotgun set, and you're not going to see Kyler Murray go under center ever, pretty much, as he is. I don't think he's used to. I don't think he's gone under center all year. maybe some goal line packages. But
Yeah, red zone if anything.
this Arizona offense is all out of the shotgun, get Kyler Murray, get their playmakers in space, and get
Yep.
one-on-one with the defense. And you've seen this whole year, it's been tough to defend across the board there.
Oh, definitely. If you come on defense, not matched up with the correct personnel against five wide, Kyler
Yeah,
Murray can definitely make you pay for it.
yeah. If you're gonna sit there and try and run 4-3 against a five-wide set, Arizona's just gonna spread you out, and they're gonna have a field day with you. As Kyle's gonna send good old Fitzgerald in motion, he's gonna drop back, throw, fire deep over the middle. As Larry Fitz, he's still playing. He's got to be in the league. He seems like he's been in the league forever, and he has.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
he's
quite
had
sure.
some really nice touchdowns this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's had like a revival of sorts in this Cliff Kingsbury offense, as he makes a huge catch there, as in of about 16 as a deep post over the middle. Larry Fitzgerald's sure-handed. I don't think he's had a drop pass all year or in 5 years. Like he's been. Ooh, wow, nice catch. Or nice carry there as they faked the Jets sweep and handed it off to David Johnson. That's another thing you're going to see here from this Arizona offense. A lot of motions, a lot of misdirections, a lot of, getting their playmakers in space and sprinting before the ball is even snapped as Kyler's going to drop back to throw. Looking.
Huge pass. Oh, and it's dropped.
Whoa, you're ahead of me, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let me refresh. See if that does it.
Yeah.
You might want to refresh. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll try refresh.
Tell me when he takes the snap.
Hold up, I'm switching broadcast here.
David Johnson to the right, first down.
All right, I got a new thing up here. I'll tell you when he snaps. Kyler Murray's in the split gun. He's going to motion running back behind him. He just snapped it there. It's going to be a handoff
Oh
there
yeah,
to Chase
I'm
Edmonds.
ahead a decent amount.
Oh no. Oh well. I'll call the plays then. You can kind of chime in on.
Yeah, you can definitely run the show.
All right. So Kyler Murray's going to go up in the gun now, 5 wide, as Seattle's not quite sure what exactly they're trying to do there, as they had guys all over the place. So they're going to fire it over the middle. What a dime by Kyler Murray. He weaved it through about 3 defenders there. I mean, you couldn't have put the ball in a better spot. How about that throw? That's incredible there. He weaved it between what seemed like 2 linebackers and a safety. As
Yeah, Arizona takes the early lead here.
Yeah, big lead by Arizona. Now coming into this game, you had predicted about a 40-30 game with Arizona on top. And I'm going to actually one-up you. I think Arizona's going to win this one by at least 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 3-touchdown win. I know they'd played close the last time these teams have faced, but Arizona didn't handle the ball all too great that game, and I think they're going to have a bigger focus on ball security here and play a little bit smarter. As it's going to be a deep post over the middle, and wow, that was almost an interception there as they were trying to work with Metcalf over the middle, it looked like. Buda Baker got his hands on it and almost fell right into the rookie Byron Murphy.
Yeah, this Cardinals defense, second in the league in turnovers.
Yeah, and they can do it in many ways, not only in forcing fumbles, but picks too. They've got a young, experienced secondary, but they've also got Patrick Peterson, who can lock up just about anyone in the game. If he's not the best corner in the NFL, he's definitely top 3. As we're going to see Russell Wilson scramble out there to the left, throw across his body. It's going to be complete over the middle, as it's going to be, I believe, Ed Dixon on the play. As he's going to make a juke. I think it was Ed Dixon.
Yes, it was. Yep.
It was Ed Dixon?
Huge game.
That guy's been around a while. I remember him back. I believe it was with Baltimore. Did he win a Super Bowl with Baltimore, or am I just going crazy here? Well,
I'm not sure.
We'll have to get the interns on that one. We'll see what they come up with there. If they can find out if Ed Dixon has a chip. But Russell Wilson with a rare miss there, as that's going to sail right over the wide receiver's head. He was trying to push the ball deep, as Seattle's now set up at their own 28-yard line here, as they're looking to put some points on the board.
You're right. Ed Dixon played for Baltimore from 2010 to 2013.
So he'd won a championship. Seattle is no stranger to Super Bowls as well. They've had a big history. We all remember the Marshawn Lynch no carry there, but they've also had the Legion of Doom in the past couple years, and they're really trying to find themselves here as they move on from that era. With one of the only pieces left being Russell Wilson, as he's going to go empty set, drop back to throw, hits a deep wheel route there to number 11. I didn't quite catch the name there. Huge play, as it looked like Arizona was rolling their
Yeah,
coverage.
Gary Jennings right there, the rookie
Oh, okay.
out of
Gary
West
Jennings.
Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah,
They know how to score some points over there at West Virginia.
his second touchdown in the season right there, coming up huge.
What better time to score it than in the playoffs, right?
Hmm.
Huge play there as Seattle's trying to go spread this Arizona defense out as they're going, five wide, um, letting Russell Wilson go out there in the gun. As we see Demarie Byrd, the speedster, he's one of them real speed merchants there on the kick return there. Watch for him to make some big plays as he's no stranger to explosive offense. This guy, if you can get the ball in his hands, he can flat out fly. He makes fast players look not so fast. As Mr. Murray's going to set up in the gun, David Johnson and Chase Edmonds beside him. As Seattle's going to counter out there with their nickel package, as Arizona's with the three wide receiver set, going to set Edmonds in motion, fake the handoff to Johnson. Kyle's going to drop back to throw and hit the deep crossing route, and it's going to be incomplete there to Christian Kirk. It looked like he was able to hold on to it, but about three Seattle defenders were able to get their hands on and jar it loose there as Bobby Wagner looked like he poked it out there last second.
Yeah, Murray stepping up in the pocket, taking a huge hit, but still delivering the ball right
Oh,
on the
yeah.
money.
Huge hit there. Murray hasn't been injured at all this year, but taking big hits like that and running around a little bit, if he goes down, this Arizona team would have absolutely nothing behind him as Murray's going to drop back to throw. He's dropping back deep, and that's going to hit right over the middle there to Christian Kirk. Weaves right past Bobby Wagner there, who was dropping in cover. How about Bobby Wagner? Do you have an individual stat line on how many turnovers he's forced this year? I know he's got to have double digits turnovers forced because
He definitely does. He's popped the ball out 9 times.
oh wow, 9 forced fumbles on the year.
That might be league high.
Wow. Let's see what
He also has
had
11
nine.
interceptions.
He had 20 turnovers forced this year. That's incredible. Wow. I mean, Bobby Wagner's playing at a whole nother level. There's Luke Kuechly, but I mean, we think about with that stat line, you can't tell me Bobby Wagner's not the best linebacker in the game. As Kyle's going to step up and get sacked there,
Sure.
as Big Jaron Reed from Alabama. I believe he's got a national championship with Alabama there. A big defensive tackle there. Working on the interior there. If there's a weakness to this Arizona team, it's the offensive line, as they've got about absolutely zero good offensive interior linemen. I mean, they've been below average all year, and they haven't shown much signs of improvement at all. As Kyler's going to hit the Mr. Irrelevant Caleb Wilson there for only about 3, as the veteran Andy Lee's back there to punt. He's got an absolute cannon, he can boom it as he's going to sail way out of the end zone there for a touchback.
Yeah, this Arizona team wants to step up, become a Super Bowl team. They're definitely gonna have to protect the quarterback. Kyler Murray sacked 4th most in the league, 62 times.
62 times, yeah. I mean, if there's one, the team going forward, they've got to keep Kyler Murray upright. Keeping Kyler Murray, being able to get a clean pocket, as not only it helps him to get a clean pocket, but also help him mixing in the run game. Kyler showed he can dominate. You don't need to hold his hand anymore, but when he's got to run around for his life, he won't look like the MVP.
The Seahawks getting the ball here. Russell Wilson actually only sacked 12 times on the season. Did miss some games due to suspension, but still very good numbers there.
Yeah, that's very good. I'd like to see what their backups were, as the Seattle offensive line is not the strongest group. As we're going to see Wilson drop back to pass, try and hit a deep corner route in almost triple coverage, as is not able to come up with that, as Wilson looked like he tried to almost force it there, and something that was not there. That wouldn't necessarily be the right read if you're judging here as an armchair quarterback. Because Wilson's going to come out with a 3 wide receiver set, drop back to throw, and try and hit. That's Chris Carson there on the wheel route. Normally you don't see Carson catching too many passes, but Penny's the guy they'll work in there to catch passes. As Chris Carson's more of your traditional power back that'll run between the tackles, run over you, and grind out tough yardage. But they can't. They have to switch up their tendencies because you can't just say Carson's a run Q and Penny's a pass because Carson's got to catch some passes too to keep the defense honest there.
Yeah, they've used both the running backs, similar amounts. With Chris Carson only rushing for 980 and Penny right behind with 800.
Yeah,
they like to balance that out.
Even as we saw Taco Charlton, the former first-round pick, former Cowboys defensive lineman there, come up with a big play there. As we're going to see nice bubble pass there to DK Metcalf. He's going to get about 5. I believe that was Terrell Suggs running him down out there. As Terrell Suggs,
the ageless veteran.
Yeah, him and Larry Fitzgerald probably have more career combined games than I'd say a good majority of some. They'll have more games than a good majority of all these guys will see, as those guys have been around forever. Since I was a little kid, I feel like. As Russell Wilson's going to come out in the pistol set again. He's got Carson behind him this time, behind and off to his right. He's going to drop back to throw. He's looking, firing over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. We've got a flag on the play. It looked like pass interference there on Budda Baker. He just got in the way and jumped the route a little bit too early before the ball could get there, and they got tangled up, and it goes the way in the defense, as we're starting to see more, as Chris Carson's going to take a carry there to the right-hand side. He's going to spin and break a tackle there. He's going to get on down, and they're going to tack on a face mask to that one, as it looked like
huge penalties on this defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's
errors.
That's 30 free yards you're basically giving the other team that they haven't earned, and now you're looking at Seattle. They've got a 1st and goal at the 8 to try and go open a whole touchdown here, as Carson's huffing and puffing. Look for maybe them to air it out, as they're going to see another stretch. They're going to try and hit the bubble there, as big play from Patrick Peterson, I think. Stepping up,
Patrick
got
Peterson
off the block, made a great one-on-one tackle.
And that's not an easy receiver to bring down, 6'5".
DK Metcalf is, I think you've all seen that picture of him. He's a big boy. But Patrick Peterson, you don't become an elite corner without being able to tackle and read routes like that. You've seen that bubble screen a million times, and huge play there to get off the block.
On his 9th Pro Bowl coming up this offseason.
9th Pro Bowl for Patrick Peterson. I mean, you don't even think you can get 9 Pro Bowls out of a guy you drafted. I mean, I know he was a high pick, but I mean, he's straight up dominated every single year he's been in the league and been nothing short of the best corner in the NFL. And wow, we're going to see a huge interception there.
Speaking of Patrick Peterson.
Patrick Peterson picks off. Oh, I believe it was Chris Carson there they were targeting as a huge goal line mistake. Huge mistake. You'd think Pete Carroll would learn to run the ball. But instead, Patrick Peterson makes a huge diving pick to help keep points off the board, as Kyler Murray and the MVP is back there. And they're set to go from their own 10-yard line. As Kyler's going to drop back to throw. He's got a huge deep bomb to Andy Isabella, and it's going to be incomplete. Huge diving stat by Shaquille Griffin.
I like the shot,
absolutely launched it. Yeah,
Arizona offense.
It looked like Isabella had a step on him, but it was just short. Had it been about a yard or two deeper, Isabella would have been going the other way. I think that's a great play. You get the turnover. You want to capitalize on a very big play with another. You try and string them together and get the momentum shifted, as they're going to be incomplete there. I believe it was Christian Kirk that had the ball jostled out of him there. A couple Seahawks guys in there knocking it out. These wide receivers for Arizona haven't been able to handle catch the ball and hold on to it, except Larry Fitzgerald pretty much, as Kyler's going to be in the gun. He's going to drop back to throw. He's looking. He's got a clean pocket drifting to his left, fire across his body. It's going to be complete over the middle. I think that's Hakeem Butler. That's a rookie.
Huge third down there.
Huge third down. He hasn't been featured as much as Andy Isabella, but Hakeem Butler is still a very solid possession type receiver.
Well, there's so many pieces they have on this receiver core.
Yeah, as Christian Kirk's been very good for Arizona as well. We've also seen, Larry Fitz, the ageless wonder, Demario Bird's big plays. And speaking of big plays, David Johnson is going to try and take this one 75 yards. I don't think they're going to catch him, as that's going to be a touchdown, Arizona, as he Superman dives into the end zone. Huge play.
Bobby Wagner coming up and whiffing on the tackle, allowing David Johnson to run 75 yards untouched.
Wow, for as many big plays as Bobby Wagner forces, he gets a little bit too aggressive there and puts himself out of position. As David Johnson showed that, all the attention might have been on Kyler Murray, but David Johnson is still a top running back in this league. And I mean, he's even after all them injuries, you can see that hasn't affected his step one bit, as he absolutely made that Seattle defense pay. As that's a huge swing, as Seattle was looking like they were going to go up 14-7, but instead a pick and a 2 stars on this Arizona team make it a 14-7 game that way, and now Seattle's going to be looking to hold on to the football and just keep moving it, as they haven't been able to stop much of Arizona's offense, but Arizona's defense hasn't countered much of Seattle either. As Chris Carson's going to take a handoff there, he's going to grind it at about 10. Looks like they're going to give him the first down. No, he's going to be just short there. Nice little stretch concept. You're going to get everyone going in the same direction, lead your fullback out, and just try and outnumber them at the point of attack.
You hear all the time, turnovers are the biggest factor in football, and Seattle had the tie game. Marching down, try to make it a 14.7 game themselves, and here we are with the Cardinals up 14-7.
Yeah, you try and force the ball too much. The problem is in the playoffs, you got the nerves, you've got everything in the thing, but you got everything going through your body. But Russell Wilson just made a not so great decision there. That might end up costing him, because this Arizona offense, there's not many people that have been able to stop him, as we're just going to see a timeout there. I believe it was Seattle that had called it there, as they've got a big 3rd and 1 coming up. 3 and out here would cripple them. They've tried and grind it out. They've got to keep the ball moving and at least flip field position if they're going to concede it back to Arizona. As you give Arizona the ball here, they're going to get it in very, very good field position. As we're going to see a triple tight end set out of here. As,
a lot of people in the box here defensively.
Yeah, it looks like Arizona seems to be disguising where they're coming from. We'll see who they're actually going to send, and they end up leaving a man wide open. There it is, Big Ed Dixon. He made a big catch earlier on in the game, as he's going to come up with another huge one there.
Wilson with plenty of time in the pocket.
It looked like Arizona, they were showing blitz, but they actually didn't come up. They didn't blitz as many as they showed. They looked like they were put about 7 or 8 guys in the box, but only sent 4. So
and here he comes.
What Arizona's working on now is we're going to see Russell. Oh, huge sack there by Jordan Hicks on
Cardinals doing a good job there, mixing up their defensive looks.
Yeah, that time they didn't look like they were sending anyone, and then they sent the house. They had a huge sack there. As Russell Wilson, he might be an escape artist, but he cannot run out of that one, as Hicks absolutely plastered him there. He didn't even see it was coming. He got in so fast. Russell Wilson now in the gun. Carson beside him. He's going to drop back to throw. He's looking. He's going to scramble out to his right. And Arizona's got a spy on him. He's going to throw across his body. And, oh, my goodness, huge catch. It looked like he was playing jackpot as he was rolling out to his left, threw across his body, and hit a backside post to David Moore for 30 yards. If you're Arizona, you've got to be kicking yourself of why you let that happen. I mean, Russell, not only did you have a rusher, but you also had a spy on Russell Wilson. You've got to contain him, as he's going to go up the middle there and get.
But that's what makes these mobile quarterbacks even more dangerous than what they already are.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to get out. The pocket broke down. Even he got it off just in time. Even if it wasn't a great throw, I mean, the receiver made an incredible catch there. He was open. He was working across the field, and you can't expect your DBs to cover him for 10+ seconds.
Especially in man coverage.
Yeah. If you're gonna try and press man, you're gonna risk getting burnt there. As now Seattle's gonna come out in that triple tight end set again. As they're gonna drop back to throw, and never mind. As Terrell Suggs, there he is. He's going to drop Russell Wilson off for a loss of about 10 there, as now Seattle's got about the 25-yard line. They're setting up a 3rd and 20. What are you calling here, Coach Swayze, in this situation?
For Seattle,
Yeah, what are you doing
The
here if you're Seattle?
deep middle.
Deep middle? You're trying to attack that. Oh, wow. Big play is. No, they're not going to come up with it. It looked like he had tried to throw a deep fade there to the wide receiver, and he just was off a little bit. And Arizona DB made a huge play on the ball as Jason Myers' kick is going to be up and barely squeak in there for a 10 point or to put 10 points total up there for Seattle as
Hmm
they're going to add three. Arizona's
Yeah,
leading
Terrell
14 to
Suggs coming
10
up
now.
with a third down sack. Or
Terrell,
second down sack. I'm sorry.
yeah, Terrell Suggs, another ageless wonder
In
out
his
there.
17th season.
17 years. I mean, he's been doing it a long time, and
That's
you don't
yep.
play 17 years if you you don't get lay the hammer on the quarterback there. As that play is worth every single penny here, as it kept basically 4 points off the board, because that sack put him in way out of convertible range. As Kyler Murray and that fast-paced Arizona offense is out there, as they're actually going to be under center now, a rare under center sighting as they're working out of the bunch. They're going to toss it to David Johnson there, and he's going to get absolutely nothing. He's going to actually lose about 3 yards on the play there. A big play there by, I believe it was Shaquille Griffin? No, that was Trey Flowers there to come up. Trey Flowers is an interesting player. Do you know much about Mr. Trey Flowers?
No, but I know as far as Madden goes, he's one of those guys that is developing.
Yeah, he's one of them young DBs Seattle has. He's actually a former safety that Seattle converted to corner. He's about 6'3", and he's one of those big-bodied physical corners as they like. And Trey Flowers might be good, but Christian Kirk is very good as he takes a jet sweep for about 50 yards. As he was weaving in and out of that Seattle defense, as they
Yeah,
had
and
no
the
answer.
game giving Kyle Murray the passing yards for that play.
Yeah, I think it was because it was a forward pass. Yeah, so I guess it counts as a pass play, and I mean, either way, Kyler Murray's happy, Arizona's offense is
Hmm
happy, and David Johnson's happy. He's grinding out about 5 yards. Seattle defense, they're not so happy. Big plays. Arizona's, like we had said, they've got the big plays, and you just saw one there that makes them so deadly. I feel like every single one of those guys, as soon as they touch the ball, they can take it to the house. They get great vision, making a couple guys miss. So he's gonna fake the Kyler's gonna fake the pass or run to Chase Edmonds, drift out in the pocket there, left throw across his body. It's gonna be incomplete there. He's trying to hit Demarie Bird on the sideline, but it looked like Bobby Wagner was able to get a hand on it. As
Yeah. But like you said earlier, this Cardinals team, playing like they want to win, not just not lose.
exactly, I think that's not necessarily what Seattle's doing, but Seattle can fall into that trap very easy. As Kyler's going to dump it off, and it's going to be swatted down. Lucky
Could
it
have been
wasn't
a
a pick.
pick, maybe a pick
Yeah,
six.
as he just swats it down and makes the safe play. I mean, that's more or less playing not to lose rather than to win. I think you got to come
Hmm
up and try and take it the other way. Even if you get tackled, so kick's going to be up and good.
Yep.
Uh, Seattle's got to come up with a pick six there.
What I like about this Cardinals offense is they always play like they're down 2 scores.
Yeah, they play super aggressive. They don't shy away. They're not more one of these dink and dunk teams you see out there. They always play very aggressive, very fast. They always play. They're always looking for the big play. They're always looking for mismatches. They're always looking to get guys out of position. And if you're one of these users that are watching, take a couple notes down, as this Arizona offense is very good. As Seattle, they're a pretty good team too. As they're gonna hit Charles Clay over the middle there. Seattle hasn't really hit many deep shots, so they haven't really had any big
Hmm
explosive plays. It's not necessarily what they're built for, but Seattle's more of a grinded out, control the
They
game.
have the receivers for it, but
Yeah,
the offensive
Tyler
line
Lockett and
not
David
stepping up
Moore.
and giving
Yeah,
Russell enough time.
yeah, Russell can make any play. He's just got to get the time. DK Metcalf, David Moore, Tyler Lockett, they're pretty explosive. Penny's more of the home run hitter out of Carson. Carson's rock solid as he's going to get absolutely blasted there. I'm not even sure if he knew where he was at when he got hit there. As was that a big D tackle that was able to swallow him up there? I think it was Big Dontari Poe as he was actually signed this week off of free agency, released for some off the field stuff for Carolina. He's
Yeah.
actually eligible to play here. Didn't have a great season, but he's looking to get a shot here for Arizona as Russell's going to line up in the I formation, drop back to throw, and it's going to be flat out incomplete. He was looking to hit the fullback there.
Yeah, Wilson looking uncomfortable in the pocket this
Yeah,
far.
Arizona's been able to get some pressure, but there was not much at that play. The Seattle line gave him time. He was trying to hit a little check down route, but Russell's still inconsistent. He's going to hammer a big post player out there to, I believe it was David Morgan. That guy's making plays
Yeah,
all
I
over
like
the
the
field.
move after the catch.
Yeah, like you had said, one of the plays you think a weakness of that team, how you can get some yards, is going deep over the middle, and that's a big play there. As I mean, that was good for about 30, 40 yards. I'm trying to think. Terry Poe, he's been around the league a while.
Oh yeah,
Speaking of
the
him,
past couple years been bouncing around teams.
yeah, I mean, maybe he can find a home here for Arizona in this playoff run. If he can provide something, maybe not even pass rush, but stuff on the run, the Arizona needs some help there. Seattle's actually gonna dump it off there. That pass is complete.
Yep.
Believe it was DK Metcalf there.
Yeah,
That's gonna
the
be his
rookie.
second catch of the day. And DK Metcalf's had a pretty solid year. He's been a really good number 2 option for the Seattle offense.
With 10, leads the team in receiving touchdowns with 10.
Yeah, double-digit touchdowns as a rookie. You'll take that any day of the week. As Arizona's going to show out in a press man set. As Russell's going to fire over the middle. It's going to be picked off again. There you go. Another ball hawking interception there. Is that Dante Thompson?
That's Thompson. Is that the free safety?
Yeah, I believe so. That's a rookie, right? I'm not sure.
Regardless, comes up with a huge interception.
A big play as Russell tried to force it into a play that wasn't there. I mean, Charles Clay. Hey, I mean,
That's two red zone interceptions for Seattle now.
And if Arizona can capitalize on this,
just like last time.
Yeah, Seattle's going to be in a hole. And just like last time, they're trying to go deep. The first play is Isabella's got a step on them, and they're going to be incomplete there. Shaquille
Can
Griffin.
they come down with the ball?
He
Huge
might have.
throw though
Yeah.
by Kyler Murray.
That's an absolute cannon. I mean, he might have got him a little bit too early, but nonetheless, it's a no call there. As it looked, maybe you could argue it was pass interference for me, but Kyler Murray showing off that cannon of an arm he's got, as he's going to drop back to throw, and he's going to get it off, and just in time, it's going to be his rookie tight end Caleb Wilson there. It's going to be a gain of about 9 there. It's going to set Arizona up for 3rd and 1. Kyler got absolutely blasted on that play. I wasn't even sure if he'd be able to get it off. But nonetheless, you're going to see Kyler Murray in the gun here on this 3rd down. David Johnson. Oh, hello, guys. Hi. Oh, jeez.
You're better than Chris Collinsworth.
You think so?
I know so.
Oh, you guys know so?
Yeah.
What you should do? You should do the one for the.
Kyler Murray dumping off to David Johnson for the 1st down. Kyler Murray kind of shotgun spread formation. Takes the snap. All day the throw. Throws over the middle. Wide open. Tight end.
As I'm back, we had an interruption here in the press box. As Kyler Murray, he's not interrupted. He's going all the way down to the 28-yard line. As they're trying to capitalize on that turnover there. Kyler's going to come out in the empty set. No running backs beside him. He's standing alone there in the gun. Dropping back to throw. Looking and firing deep over the middle there. Is that his tight end again? Caleb Wilson? I believe it was Caleb Wilson that came down with that.
Yeah.
That guy's
Arizona already over 300 total yards on offense.
Caleb Wilson's been a big playmaker for this Arizona team, and everyone had a shot to draft him. He was the last guy drafted in the NFL draft the previous years. He's going to throw a big block there to try and spring David Johnson off the edge there. They're not going to be able to come up with nothing. Kyler Murray's going to send a couple guys in motion, change his formation around, reset a little bit. They've got it with about a minute left here, trying to get a big touchdown on to go into the halftime with a two touchdown lead. As Kyler's now gonna flip lineman of sorts, and gonna make a couple adjustments. He's gonna be back there in the gun, looking fire, and it's gonna be a huge interception.
Wagner.
Bobby Wagner. We talked about him being able to force some fumbles, but you see there a huge interception as Kyler tried to force it over the middle and he just ran out of room. Bobby Wagner
Oddly
read that
enough,
play
Bobby
like a book.
chooses not to take out of the end zone.
I don't know if that's necessarily the right move. I don't know if you had.
I think with
lane.
36 seconds left,
Yeah, no, I could see that as they're gonna try
down
and
7 in the playoffs. I think you got to take that.
Try and make a big
you gotta
play
take
there.
That shot.
Yeah, maybe if they're, especially if Seattle's not going to try and take a shot here and just try and grind the clock out and lick their wounds of sort and head into halftime down 7.
Both teams here, 3 interceptions in the red zone now.
Yeah, as that one's going to be a big loss for Arizona, as they could have taken a 2-touchdown lead, but we see it's going to swing the other way. Hit another bubble screen there to Metcalf. They've been trying to work that RPO action as
feeding him the ball.
Yeah, as Chandler Jones on DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf's going to win that every single time in spaces. He picked up about 30 yards on that, or 20 yards on that play. So big play. It gets them some breathing room. It gives them another shot if they want to take it here. We've got about 26 seconds left. Only a timeout left. So we'll see what Seattle's going to do here. Is they're going to actually drop back to throw. Russell Wilson's fine, looking. He's going to be actually sacked there. Huge play. Chandler Jones. Big sack to wrap up Russell Wilson there. He saw the pressure and tried to run away from it. And Chandler Jones, he's been in the league a long time, and he's got a lot of sacks to his name too. Led the league in sacks just a couple of years ago. Many might forget that he's over here in Arizona. But he's one of those guys that the Patriots had, and he wanted.
I think Arizona gave up. Was it a first-round pick?
I think it was a second. It was a second-round pick, and he was one of those guys that he's in New England and he has some success, but they're not going to pay it. They're not going to overpay one of those guys. But he's putting up sacks here for a contender in Arizona. Arizona's loving that sack there. Is now Seattle's gonna come out in 5 wide and try and come up with something. They're gonna
dangerous pass.
Almost intercepted there. I believe that was Thompson again, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure. All these Arizona DBs are all over the field, so it's hard to track who's who. As Russell's going to step up in the pocket, he's going to run with it, going to hopefully avoid a hit here. Yep, and he's going to slide on down there. And Seattle will take a 17-10 game into halftime now. As Seattle set to or Arizona's.
We got an update in the Bills-Jets game. Bills up 7-3 after Jets miss a field goal. 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Nice.
Snowy game in New York.
Oh wow! I mean, that's good for that Bills team, as their coach had been put on the commissioner's exempt list and all but blacklisted from the league for his actions there. As the upstart Jets are looking to show they're the kings of New York and keep on moving. As it's been an interesting week in Buffalo nonetheless, as Michael Wilson is no longer a coach of the Bills after he led them to the playoffs. As we're going to see Kyler trying to dump. Oh wow!
Dangerous pass.
Yeah,
Bobby Wagner almost there with the sack.
That's not the play you want to see there if you're a Kyler Murray and a Cardinals fan.
Bobby Wagner's X Factor active.
Kyler's going to drop back. He's going to sling an absolute missile out in the flats there. Caleb Wilson again. That'll put him over 100 yards on the day.
Wide open.
Yeah, I mean, is he a product of the system or just a gem for that Cardinals team? Either way, he's producing, and he's got 122 yards on the day. As you wouldn't think he'd be the starting tight end for the Cardinals, let alone the starting tight end for the Cardinals in a playoff game. But he gets a shot, and he's making a lot of teams wish they'd draft him if they need a tight end. As David Johnson, he's another guy that a lot of teams wish they would have drafted. As I believe he was a late pick, right? He wasn't a lot of hype. He went to Northern Iowa. You can raise your hand if you know where that is. As we're gonna see Kyler Murray drop back to throw. He's got an
Going
absolute
deep,
missile.
wide open.
Christian Kirk absolutely cooked. That was Brandon Flowers, I believe. Yes, that was Brandon Flowers, the former college safety at Oklahoma State. But the Sooner,
Yep.
Kyler Murray hit a deep
Kyler
bomb
Murray's favorite
to
target on the season.
Christian Kirk. Went to Texas A&M, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah. Was he there with Johnny
Second
Manziel?
year.
No, not with Johnny. Maybe
No.
with Johnny. No,
Nah, not with Johnny.
no. After Johnny. After Johnny football. I remember talking to Cardinals owner a couple of years ago. He said, "Man, I hope the Cards draft Johnny football." Well, I think they got someone that's going to be a lot better than Johnny football, Kyler Murray, as he's kind of stepped in this league and dominated right away, as you see right there. I mean, that's a big play. A missed kick is going to you might end up costing him down the line, but the Cardinals will take another touchdown, as that was quick, real quick. Russell Wilson's going to hand it off to Chris Carson. He's going to make a cut to the left there and only get about a yard or two on the play. Chris Carson, speaking of drafting and where they went to college, Chris Carson was an undrafted free agent. As he's stepping in there for Seattle a year or two ago.
Great job.
Yeah, doing a great job of being one of those really tough-nosed runners. As DJ Swearinger makes a
Swearinger,
huge play.
And that's what he does best.
Yeah,
Potential free agent in the offseason this year.
Yeah, DJ Swearinger.
You want to talk about that?
DJ Swearinger is a very, very good player. It's interesting that him and the Cardinals haven't been able to come to an agreement contract-wise. As he's not one of those huge play there by Chandler Jones. He all but does a dolphin dive at the end and then a jump shot to finish him off. Going back to DJ Swearinger, I mean he's not a deep safety. He's more of he's a thumper.
Yeah. He's in the box safety,
Yeah, he'll come down.
With 9 forced fumbles on the season, just comparable to Bobby Wagner there.
Yeah, I mean when DJ Swearinger hits you, you're going to be feeling it the next day. I mean, all these guys hit hard, but DJ Swearinger hits harder, as he's a very, very key piece to this Arizona defense. As they're going to hand it off to David Johnson now. It's Kyler Murray in the Arizona offense there. David Johnson's been running the ball very well. I feel like every time he touches, it's a first down.
He's the perfect running back, for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, you can lean him off on him. I mean, he not only can run, he can catch, he can do just about everything. He's a very, very
leads the league in
player.
reception. I mean, the team in the receptions here.
Interesting. As we're going to see another deep ball there, and it's going to be just incomplete there. Had Kyler, he could hit more of these deep balls if he just had about a yard or two deeper. His receivers are getting a step. It's just he's got to lead just a little bit more, as he's had a couple deep balls that are just breathtaking at how well he's throwing it. As he's going to now set up a 2nd and 10. That Arizona offense still firing, still trying to hit them big plays, as Seattle's had absolutely no answer for Arizona. As we're going to see a handoff there, that's going to be Chase Edmonds.
Brought down.
You name the college Chase Edmonds went to?
I wouldn't know. Tell me.
Not a D1 university. He's going to one D1 AA college, Fordham University. They're a D1 school out of the Bronx. So he was a fairly high draft pick. He was a record setter there at Fordham. Played under now Mississippi State head coach, former Penn State offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead. You might have heard of him. Very, very, very good.
Pass rush there gets to Kyler Murray, forces him to throw it out.
Yeah, that's going to set Arizona up to try and get a coffin corner here as a big punt. As Andy Lee, the vet, he's been doing it a long time. Is he going to be able to squeeze it out there? It's going to sail out of bounds, but no, bad punt.
And let's see what Seattle can do. Down 2 scores, about halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, they might as well just punted it out of the end zone as a 23-yard line. Not what Arizona was looking for there. But long road to go for Seattle. They're going to toss it to Chris Carson, and there's going to be 2. Oh, huge hit. That's Swearinger again. That had to have been DJ Swearinger. No, that was Budda Baker. Big hit by him.
Another hit. Yeah, hard-hitting safety.
Yeah, DJ Swearinger covers a lot of ground. Not as much as... Budda Baker covers a lot of ground. Not as much as DJ Swearinger, but Budda Baker moves all around. He's a chess piece for that Arizona defense. It's going to be, I believe, Metcalf again. I could be wrong.
That was Gary Jennings.
Gary Jennings.
Yeah,
There
rookie
you go.
receiver.
He made a couple guys miss on a bubble screen there. Seattle hasn't took any shots deep, really, as opposed to just one or two, as they've been trying to hit these short little routes and just kind of methodically move their way down the field. As they've huge play. Arizona almost able to come up with it. They tipped the ball and it was floating in the air for what seemed like forever, but Seattle hasn't played as they're playing a completely different style of offense as opposed to this Arizona team. They've looked
I think after
slow.
those two red zone interceptions, Wilson's second guessing himself on the deep ball.
Exactly, and he's been playing to not lose. They haven't thrown it deep. They haven't tested the rookie corner of Byron Murphy. I mean, I know he's played very well, but you've got to start taking some shots deep if you're Seattle to get back in this thing. Is you're just going to keep you're just going to keep punting it or turning it over, and Arizona's going to make you pay, as David Johnson's going to take.
And this is an offense, you got to match points with.
Yeah, this is a team that you can't contain them. You can't stop them. You can hardly even contain them, really.
You'll force some turnovers on a young quarterback, but he's going to put up some points.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona, you could slate them in for 30 points, easy. You've got to score 30 points at least to beat this team, as they move the ball so
Cardinals,
consistent.
fifth in points scored per game with 32.6 on the season.
Yeah, if you want to beat this team, you got to expect to put up 30 points, as 10 is not going to cut it. As Arizona's actually got 23 there, but we're still only about halfway through the third quarter here, as Kyler Murray's going to come in the gun. He got a medium to long third down situation here, as he's going to drop
plenty
back
of time
to
to throw, looking deep.
He's got a man open. He's got a step. It's going to be Andy
That's a
Isabella.
touchdown.
Huge play. He's going to even showboat in there. Absolutely disrespect that Seattle defense.
Leads the team in receiving yards with 1,100 just off 45 receptions.
That guy is incredible.
That shows you the speed.
Andy Isabella. You know what college he went to?
Massachusetts.
UMass, baby. Yep, the UMass Minutemen. Heck of a player there.
13 touchdowns on the season, Huge receiver there for this high-octane offense.
He's not very big, but, man, he fits Kyler Murray very well, as he can stretch the field deep. Not many people can keep up with him. Andy Isabella was a guy, he goes to UMass, he's playing lesser, he's not playing premier competition in the at a high level there at UMass, but I'll tell you what, when he got to the NFL, he showed he certainly belongs this year, as he's been absolutely taking the top off defenses, and Seattle hasn't had an answer. Seattle now is in scramble mode. They've got to score a touchdown here. Things could get ugly, as it's going to be incomplete there, broken up there by Jordan Hicks. That's been a big free agent signing for Arizona. Jordan Hicks coming over from the Eagles. He was injured a lot, put it together a very good year, stayed healthy, and he makes big plays there for this Arizona defense. He's one of them rangy, really athletic linebackers.
Going deep in triple coverage, comes down with the ball.
What in the world? I mean, there you go. They're taking a shot deep, and it's not a smart play.
Russell taking a huge hit on the play.
Throwing it in the triple coverage, just trying to come up with something. As you can't blame him, but I don't think throwing in the triple coverage is the move there, right? you don't say, jackpot. You played jackpot when you were a kid.
Multiple questionable throws thus far, coming out 5 wide.
Yeah, coming out trying to spread again.
Going
They're gonna hit deep, and it's gonna be.
And that's gonna be a touchdown, Seattle.
Wow, big play there.
Just like you said, need to look deep, and it works out for them this time.
Yeah, they caught Arizona sleeping in a cover 2 and able to get vertical on them, as they weren't able to run with them. As the touchdown there makes it still a 2-touchdown game. Yeah, you score in 40 seconds. You got to feel good if you're Seattle. You still got a long road to come back, but this makes it a little bit easier. As Arizona's coming out, I mean, they haven't. Seattle hasn't. I can't recall a time Seattle's had a 3 and out on playing defense there on this Arizona offense. I think they've all ended in.
Wide open drop there by David Johnson.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Bobby Wagner was in range, I believe. Yeah, it looked like Wagner and
Kyle Murray having a game, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns. We're still in the third quarter.
that kid is special, man. I mean, he had a lot of doubters coming in this league, and not. Oh
And that's
wow,
Bobby Wagner with his
Bobby
second
Wagner with
turnover.
another interception. He read him like a book. As good as Kyler Murray's been, like you'd said,
He's still a rookie.
You can force turnovers on him.
Yep.
As Bobby Wagner, he's been in the league a very, very long time, and he's shown that he is the best middle linebacker in the league. As that's a big play that gets Seattle right in.
I like this play
scoring
call here.
range.
Going play action deep.
And actually dumping it off, taking a nice little check down.
But I like the play call.
Yeah, they've been running the ball pretty well. Not as well as Arizona, but enough that you have to respect it. And Carson being the guy there that you're going to pound between the tackles as they try and elude that Arizona defense as they're going to be, wow.
Wow, what a catch by the tight end.
Charles Clay. I mean, you want to
Former
talk about
Buffalo Bill.
undrafted. Yeah, he was undrafted. Out of Tulsa. Got to start with their Miami. Signed a big contract with the Bills. Ended up getting
Seattle
cut.
coming out 5 wide.
Yeah, they're going out in 5 wide, trying to spread them out again. Russell Wilson's going to make an adjustment there at the line of scrimmage, drop back to throw. He's going to look and fire and off to the
Wide
middle of the
open.
field. Big play there, as that was DK Metcalf.
If Seattle wants to win this game, gonna need a touchdown this drive.
Yeah, they got to put some more points up. And I know Arizona's playing very aggressive, but Arizona's got to be feeling it now. It's getting within a touchdown game. You build a nice lead, but Seattle, you don't make the playoffs if you can't score some points. As the Seattle team, they've won 10 games. They don't have as explosive offense, but they've always been very consistent. Chris
Untouched into the end zone.
Big play there, big play for Seattle. As it's going to be a 7-point game here, is pending the extra point. So you'd seen Arizona miss one, as it's going to be kicks up and good. Jason Meyer, he's a former Pro Bowler for the Jets last year, and they opted to not re-sign him, as he got the money and he's kicking for Seattle now.
But yeah, this is a tough NFC conference we got.
Oh, especially this NFC conference is deep. They've had
With the winner of this game moving on to face the Saints. We have the Giants matched up against the Eagles, divisional matchup.
The Giants have had no success against the Eagles. The Eagles have had their number.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that many teams have this year.
I want to say the Eagles beat them by 30 with their backups.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Eagles are a very, very
Deshaun
good
Jackson,
team.
2 huge touchdowns in that game.
Deshaun Jackson, the ageless wonder, he's out there. So it's going to be
Dangerous pass. Could have been picked off.
That was KJ Wright, Super Bowl MVP. KJ Wright, right?
Yeah.
He's back with them. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl MVP with them. He went to Oakland a little bit, but then he finds
Bobby
his way
Wagner,
back here.
the cornerstones of this defense.
Yeah, they've done it a long time. As Kyler Murray's now going to be in the gun, he's looking, dropping back. He's got all day. He's got some pressure in his face. He's going to roll to the right.
The Seattle defense in this third quarter has been stepping up huge.
They've made a big stand there as Kyler throws it away. That's the smart move there for the rookie, and don't force anything you don't have. You force it, and then you end up with Mr. Wagner, and he's taking the ball the other way. Not what you'd like, is Arizona's going to go 5 wide again. They're looking, scrambling
Sees
out.
pressure, and he's sacked.
Big play there by Ziggy Ansah. That's a big free agent signing there for Seattle. He's coming up big. As that play,
I believe he has double-digit sacks this season for the Seattle defense.
that's great. Ziggy Ansah.
14 and a half sacks on the season.
Ziggy Ansah was a guy. He had a lot of question marks coming in. He didn't have a lot of teams interested in his services this offseason. I mean, for a guy that's been a big-time pass rusher, he had a shoulder injury that really kept people from wanting to sign him. But
Seattle with the ball back again. Can they take the lead?
Seattle can take the lead on this drive as stale.
Start off with great field position, on the 44-yard line.
Their offense just was flat the first 2.5 quarters of this game, but they've really woken up here, and now they've got a shot to take the lead. As Russell Wilson's going to be under center, he's going to fake the handout to Chris Carson. He's going to roll right into Mr. Chandler Jones there.
Third sack of the day.
Yeah, I mean, that was a decent play call there for Seattle, but Arizona got the right play call there as they blitzed right into the rollout, and Russell Wilson, before he can even fake that handoff, got absolutely smashed by Mr. Chandler Jones. So Wilson's going to drop back to throw. He's got pressure. He's going to throw it over the middle, intercepted there. I believe that was Buda Baker. Yeah, there you go. Buda Baker, we had seen come up and make a big play in the run game. There, he's
DB's doing a
playing,
good job there pressing these receivers.
Yeah, he was playing slot. He was playing in the slot there, as he's covering David Moore, who's made some big plays there. But he makes a bigger one there. Just as Seattle looked to be gaining some momentum, Arizona defense they forced a lot of turnovers, as that's gonna end up costing Seattle here. As now Arizona's got it at midfield, not what you want. They're gonna hand it off to David Johnson. He's gonna take it off the right hand side, and he's gonna be.
I like the play call. Multiple interceptions here in the second half for
try and settle him down. Maybe you get another home run there from David Johnson. It's a smart play. You're trying to just slow the game down just a little bit. I know that's not Arizona's thing, but running.
Yeah, even a field goal here would make it a two-possession game.
Yeah, as Arizona's going to drop back to throw now. I feel like I've said that 100 times today. As Kyler's going to hit Andy Isabella there on a deep pass. It's going to be a deeper drag route. Good for about 6 to Andy Isabella.
Yeah, Kyle Murray potentially could drop back more than 50 times.
I mean, if that's what it takes to win the game, I think that's just the full-blown air raid, what we kind of thought we'd see. What Cliff Kingsbury was running in college is Kyler's going to dump it off to the flats there, and Bobby Wagner.
No-call face mask on Bobby Wagner.
Was it a face mask, you think? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, he looks like he grabbed it there at the end, yeah.
Huge stop there for Seattle.
I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona went for it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
they had a 4th and 3 earlier in the first quarter. Similar field position. They chose to punt it, and they do again.
Formation. We're going to see what they're doing now as Andy Lee is going to take the snap, and he is going to punt it away.
Surprising punt here.
They're going to pin him, and they're going to be able to get it deep. Yep. Nope, it's going to sail out of the end zone. Not a great punt.
I feel like you got, quarterback. 380 passing yards.
I think you got to go for it there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try and keep your foot on the pedal. Your defense has forced a bunch of turnovers. You got to trust them a little bit. I think you totally got to. I think it's a situation that really you're changing about 20 yards in field position, but you've got a better. You got a positive play if you get it there. As we're going to see Russell Wilson, he's going to come out in the gun empty set. A lot of these teams looking to spread him out, and he's getting absolutely nothing.
It is
Chandler Jones again. He's going to get 3 in it. That's going to credit for the half sack. It was a big defensive tackle that is good. I think it was Chaco Tarleton. As Russell's gonna try and hit the wheel route there, and that's absolutely going nowhere. Jordan Hicks gets that play stopped before it even started, as he's gonna stone Chris Carson there, trying to hit that wheel route, and Jordan Hicks is all over it. Jordan Hicks is faster than an NFL running back, pretty much. I mean, he flies, and he absolutely hammered Chris Carson there on that flat route. As Russell's going to throw out to his left,
wide open
across his body. David Moore, was that David Moore again?
Yeah, I think so.
David Moore's made a bunch of big plays for that Arizona team. He's got 4 receptions for 100 yards.
Over 100 yards. Yep.
I feel like we call his name all the time as he's come up big. Seattle needs it. Russell's going to throw across his body again. It's going to be
Buda Baker.
Buda Baker again, another pick.
Don't like the choice there, Russell Wilson taking a hit, throwing in double coverage.
Not a smart play by Russell. He'd look to get him some rhythm.
Interception on the day.
A big play by that Arizona defense again, and Russell Wilson is not going to be happy with himself. Kyler Murray's going to come out in that bunch left. He's going to be under center. He's going to throw a toss there, but Bobby Wagner blows it up for about a 5-yard loss there. Huge play for that Seattle defense.
Yeah, turnovers killing the Seattle's offense. You got to think what the score would be, if they didn't throw, especially 2 red zone interceptions.
Russell just hasn't been himself. He hasn't had that playoff magic. You wonder if maybe that was a little bit of fluky from a couple of years ago. Maybe that's the equivalent to like a Joe Flacco. He just got lucky. As Russell's not been able to come up with anything. Yep. And the clutch, when his team needs him the most, he's thrown it right in Arizona's hands. Not what you're looking for. Is
Bobby Wagner been in the zone for seems what to be the second half, the whole second half.
he's been all over the field. Larry Fitz comes up with a big catch there to make this a little bit more manageable. As Kyler's going to drop back to throw, fire over the middle. It's going to be complete there. Huge catch over the middle, just past Bobby Wagner. Arizona's line giving him just enough time, and Kyler stands in the pocket and drills it. Andy Isabella, big catch over the middle. As now Kyler Murray's going to go split backs, 3 wide receivers lined up out wide. They're going to take a handoff up the middle. Chase Edmonds, the second-year player, is going to grind out about 5 yards there, or about 4, maybe 5. That sets Arizona up at the 49-yard line, right at midfield. The clock is moving. They're killing the clock. Arizona's not the team that's going to try and sit and hold. They're going to keep the pressure going, but they're going to also mix in that run as Kyler's going to dump it off there in the flats. That's going to be actually completed, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Chase Edmonds again. David Johnson, he's not on the field in this crucial drive. I wonder where he's at.
He's been taking seems what every snap on offense for majority of the game.
Yeah, interesting. As you'd want him to be on the field, but huge play there by Demary Bird, straight up the seam. As Seattle had not had any sort of, not a man within a 5-yard radius. As they must have been playing some sort of cover 2.
It was a cover 2 blitz.
Yeah,
like
and
blitz.
Demary Bird makes a big catch there up the seam as they're going to hand it off to David Johnson. He's going to get met at the line of scrimmage there for only maybe a yard, if that, as I believe that was Brandon Flowers coming up and stopping the run. You know, it said he's a former college safety, not afraid to stick his nose in there as he comes up with a huge stop there. It's still going to keep the clock moving there as Arizona's been mixing a little bit more runs and short passes and trying to, just bleed the clock as much as they can. Kyler's looking, dropping back to throw. He's got pressure in his face. He's going to throw it out of bounds. Fortunately for Seattle, that'll stop it. Kyler's amassed already 436 yards on the day. I believe he's got 40 dropbacks. If my stats are correct, yes, he's got 40 dropbacks already.
Yeah, I would like to see Arizona run the ball more this drive. Chew more clock. Control this game.
And Kyler's gonna actually scramble on this one, do a little back shoulder fade. He's gonna get the first down and huge play.
Takes a huge hit.
He's lit up, but nonetheless, that's a first down. Kyler Murray looked like he was shot out of a cannon on that one.
His first takeoff on the day.
He hasn't scrambled at all. He's getting rid of that narrative that he's a scrambler and he can't sit in the pocket. I mean, this guy's made all the throws. Huge play there, as that's going to be a forward on the tackle.
Yeah, lost 3 yards there.
Oh no, Nate Jones, or I believe it's Nate Jones there for that Seattle front. Other than a big Jerron Reed sack, that Seattle front defensive line has not made much of anything against this inferior Cardinals line. Kyler's going to drop back to throw. He's got pressure in his face. That was Blair on the sack, coming in from a corner position or a corner safety spot. They sent him off the edge, and they weren't able to counter it as they sent more than Arizona could block. It's a big sack nonetheless. That's up 3rd and 25. Arizona doesn't.
If I'm Arizona, I'm going to look for the seam here on the right.
We'll see if he goes to it. He's going to fire. It's going to be complete. Caleb Wilson, the undrafted. You're looking like Tony Romo out here calling the play before it even happens. Caleb Wilson comes up with a huge touchdown catch. I mean, that was incredible. That's
3 defenders in the area.
Kyler puts it only where his guy can catch it. As the Arizona's going to line up to go for 2 here, as it's a 12-point game. Maybe they'd be able to. Maybe they'd be able to make it a 2-touchdown league. 2-touchdown.
Yeah, and that they do. Murray runs it in.
Kyler Murray's going to run it in there, and they'll take that every day of the week. As that's going to be 38-24 for Seattle. Arizona able to drip about 4 to 5 minutes off the clock, and that's not a typical Arizona possession, but it counts. Arizona will take that any day of the week in this situation. They've been aggressive. They capitalize off turnovers, and they put points up. And like we had said before, you've got to score 30 points to beat this Arizona team, and
Seattle's gonna need a touchdown on this drive.
Seattle needs a
Let's see what
touchdown
they can
here,
do.
or you might not get the ball back as Arizona's been lights out. This is going to be
It's caught.
wow.
Wow,
Over
broke the first
double
initial
coverage.
tackle. Could have been the touchdown.
Yeah, as he was stumbling there. I mean, it was double coverage. He was able to actually
Russell
come
Wilson,
up with it.
that's probably his third, questionable throw. Came down for a catch.
As a huge play there, and that's gonna be intercepted by the rookie Byron Murphy as Russell Wilson comes up with this. Russell Wilson threw his 5th interception on the day. I mean,
yeah, this Arizona defense is going to be going into next week with a huge amount of confidence.
That's exactly what you want. They haven't even allowed a great amount of yards, but they've come up with a lot of turnovers, and it hasn't. They don't need to be a legendary defense. They just need to come up with big plays to get their offense the ball back. You get that offense is going to score 30, 40 points a game. They just need to hold teams under that.
Yep. Arizona, wild card team, but people gotta realize they're a 13-3 team.
Yeah, well, they're playing in the wild card. They had a couple losses. They'd lost to the Saints there. That kept them out of a first round bye.
They're
still a 13-win team. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they've been looking forward to. They know if they want to make it big, they've got to go through the Saints, and they've got to go through the Eagles pretty much, as the Eagles are going to be heavy favorites versus the Giants. It'll be interesting to see what they can come up with next week. I mean, that Saints team has got so many superstars on that team. They're definitely more talented than this Cardinals team, but this Cardinals team is young and exciting, and they can make big
Arizona
plays.
Doing their own RPO.
Yeah, they can make big plays just as everyone else.
Tied in here with 11 receptions on the day.
I mean, if you'd have told me Caleb Wilson would have been the reception leader for this Arizona offense, I'd have probably called you silly. I mean, you'd have thought it had to have been David Johnson with 200-yard game.
David's been his safety blanket all season long.
But here it's Caleb Wilson, the rookie. I wonder if he made the Pro Bowl. I don't know what his stats were for the year, but I mean,
take a look.
Nonetheless, I think Arizona will certainly take the performance they got out of the day with him. Kyler Murray started about 50 times, but I mean, that's what they needed to win, and this Arizona team showed that they can beat you even with Kyler being a drop back passer. They can grind it out. Kyler can certainly, what he can do when he's running with it, but for him to step up and make these big time throws.
No Pro Bowl, but still a decent season for rookie with 865 yards.
Wow, that's a very good season there for an undrafted tight end. You'll take that. I mean, that's a huge find. That's going to be a tight end on a very nice, controllable contract, and cheap for nickels. Making big plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big play there.
You get a miracle here.
Yes, they could try and go vertical, but they're going to need a touchdown and an onside kick. Another big play there by Ed Dixon. He's going to actually take it for a touchdown.
And, Seattle, back in the game now.
Seattle's back in it. This thing looked to be out of reach for them, but they're gonna have to come up with a stop here. They're gonna have to burn all their timeouts. They come up with a stop. They're gonna get the ball back. As it looked like they even.
If you're Seattle here, do you go for the onside kick with how well this Arizona offense has been?
I think you'd almost have to, but the problem with the onside kick is if you don't get it, Arizona's already in field goal ranges now. Seattle just shanked that one there. They must have just lost the kick meter, and that's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, they did. I got reports on Arizona's side that they have no meter.
Do we have a score update for the Bills Jets game?
Jets scored to make it a 3-point game with 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
What's the score to it?
13-10 Bills.
Bills are up. Wow, that's a big
Jets scored and put themselves back in position to win this game.
We'll see if Bills can hold on to it. As we've now got four people tuning in, as it says on the stream there. Let's see what.
Yeah, Seattle trying not to allow a first down. here.
If you're Arizona, a first down here all but seals it. Seattle's going to actually let the clock drip down. Interesting move by them not to call the timeout right away unless they're going to all but concede the first down. Arizona's going to let this clock run to all but 0 as Kyler Murray's going to come up with probably one of the biggest snaps of his career here. If he gets a first down, he's going to all but put the game away. He's going to actually concede it and hand it off to David Johnson, who's going to be
Wagner
hawked
with a
down.
huge tackle.
Bobby Wagner stones him at the line of scrimmage, just set up 3rd and 2.
Potentially season-saving tackle.
Bobby Wagner, we're going to say it again. He's incredible. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and it doesn't get much bigger than that. As like you had said, he keeps the season in line. If you're Arizona, I got to think they might even go for it here at the 50-yard line.
And don't be shocked if Arizona throws the ball here.
Arizona, certainly. You've always had the option to run it through with Kyler as he's going to hand it off to David Johnson. He's going to plow forward. That's going to be a first down. Seattle's got to call a timeout now. Or that all but seals it, correct?
Yeah.
Or it'll leave. Now that it will seal it there.
Yeah.
Arizona's going to win it. You were right. It was close to 40. It was 38. Arizona's going to win by a touchdown.
I said 42-31, so
off by just a little bit, but Seattle scored over 30. But as you can see, that Arizona offense fast and explosive.
they move on to face the Saints in New Orleans.
Big play there by Arizona, coming up with the first down. As they're gonna, so that's gonna be a Saints Cardinals rematch, right? And Eagles Giants, Eagles perennial beatdown, more than likely.
So you wanna switch over and finish off this Bills game?
We could.
All right, yeah.
I'll pull it up right now. This will be an interesting. We'll get bonus coverage now, as we're going to cover the other playoff game. As it's a low-scoring one here. We don't have any background on it, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, Jets get the ball back, down 3.
Wow.
5 minutes left in the game. Can they go take this lead?
Sam Darnold, is he the man? Can he win the big game?
Well, come out, win the division, especially over the New England Patriots.
New England had an absolute down year. No one would have expected that, as these two teams came out of nowhere pretty much. As actually it's Trevor Siemian in there. Sam Darnold must be injured, as they're going to hand it off. A snowy day there. I can't even call who was that on the carry. My stream's not too good quality. How about you? Nonetheless, I believe Trevor Siemian. That is Trevor Siemian under center. He's going to hand it off. It's not Le'Veon Bell either. Is that Elijah McGuire? Oh. It was Sam Darnold was benched in a playoff game. Not sure what the case was there. Trevor Siemian is trying to lead a comeback here. The Bills are holding on for dear life. This Bills defense criminally underrated. As they're gonna line up in their 4-3 over set. Jets gonna send a tight end in motion, hand it off. It's gonna be just falling forward there. It was J.D. McKissick, I believe, up the middle. Trey Edmonds, the young rookie out of, second-year player out of Virginia Tech, really trying to make the step here in the second year. He's played very well for this Bills defense. All but the heart and soul. They're a huge man in the middle. As Trevor Siemian's going to drop back to throw, he's going to look, and it's going to be sailing way over the tight end's head there. They tried to dump it off to him in the flats. As Trevor Siemian, not quite. He's the Jets think he's the guy. I mean, he's got to be the guy for him here in this spot. As I believe it's more behind him. It's hard to make out in the snowy weather who's who. As Trevor Siemian's gonna all but flip the play here. He's gonna send Robbie Anderson in motion. As it's going to be a handoff off the middle there to Moore. He's going to fight forward there for a first down. Huge rush there. As that'll be his 20. He'll 5 carries for about 25 on the day. I guess trying to get things going here. They're switching up between Moore and McKissick. Try and keep the ball on the ground, not make Trevor Siemian win it with his arm, as he's not an incredible quarterback. He's bounced around the league a while. Try and keeping it on the ground, as he's going to hand it off here. It's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage there. Big play there for Teron Johnson from the Buffalo Bills. Yes, that is going to be Teron Johnson. He's another second-year player that's interesting there, as Mr. Teron Johnson was from Weber State, also where Damian Lillard, NBA All-Pro, All-NBA players from. As Trevor Siemian's going to drop back to throw. He's looking. He's got all day. He's going to fire over the middle. Going to hit a safety blanket. Huge hit there as Micah Hyde laid McKissick out. As that's going to set the Jets up in field goal range, but they got a 3rd and 1 to counter here. You've got to be thinking maybe Siemian could be a threat to sneak it in here. I wouldn't be surprised to see they not put the ball in the air here, as I don't know how much confidence they have in him. As it's going to be 3rd and 1 here, they're going to line up a double tight end set, 2 receivers set out left. It's going to be Moore behind him, as Siemian's going to send a Nunwan motion. Clock dripping down, 5-4. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to be leveled out there. Lorenzo Alexander coming up with a play beyond the line of scrimmage. Huge play there by the vet coming off the edge.
If you're the Jets here, you go for it.
I don't know.
You make the field goal, you still leave the Bills, 2 minutes, 3
Unfortunately,
timeouts.
This is kick meter situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they don't have a kicks meter. As this is gonna, oh no.
If I'm the Jets, I call the timeout here and go for it.
Yeah, you've got to go for it in this situation. Unfortunately, it's a playoff game, down 3. You've got to hope it comes back. None of the solutions we've tried
Okay,
work
Jets
here.
call the timeout.
As it be about a 50-yarder in the snow.
Mm-hmm. But, this weather conditions, taking long field goals, that's something you don't want to do.
No, it depends on how much faith they've got in Forbath, as he's unfortunately got to go for it in this situation.
Yeah, it would be a 48-yard field goal.
Yeah, very long one there in the snowy, windy New York playoff game. As we're gonna see, I'm not sure why you bench Sam Darnold unless he had thrown that many picks. It's the only thing I could think. Nonetheless, this Jets team is looking for a way to claw out. As I wouldn't be surprised if they hit some sort of RPO action, as they've got to.
I think if you're Jets here, you don't try anything cute. Keep it basic.
Mm-hmm. McKissick's going to be behind Siemian in the gun, as he's going to make an adjustment here. Bills are countering nickel set. They've got 5 in the box. There's going to be a handoff, and no, he's going to pull it. Get the wide receiver green. Trey White comes up with the stop.
Had lots of space.
He had space, but Trey White comes up with a big stop to all but seal this game.
The Jets left with 2 timeouts on defense. Could not allow a first down here.
Yes, this would be the same situation that we'd seen out of Buffalo, or in the Arizona game. If Josh Allen and these Bills can come up with the first down, they can seal it, and they'll be moving on. As there's going to be a handoff to LaShawn McCoy. He's busting up the seam. Get it. He's close to it.
Yep.
It's going to be inches. Just inches away, as this game is all but on ice. A first down here. a first down here will seal it. We'll see what Buffalo's got drawn up. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen under center. He's got LaShawn McCoy behind him in the gun. Triple tight end. Wide receiver split out. It's going to be a dive up the middle, and it's going to be a...
That should do it.
That's going to seal the game there. LaShawn McCoy, the veteran running back, he's ran for a lot of yards. Not many bigger than that. As he's going to get the first down there, and that'll end up sealing the game. Big play there. Huge play by the Bills, and that's going to be the Bills moving on. They're going to play the Colts, as it'll be Broncos, Chargers, and Colts, Bills in the AFC. As we've got the other side set, this will be an interesting round setting us to the division. This will be an interesting week as we're going to go to advance to the divisional round.
Yeah, Bills.
Bunch of exciting
end up
games.
facing,
Yeah,
the Colts. Colts or Broncos.
it'll be the Colts. The Bills are
Yeah.
the lowest seed, so the number one seed will get them. So with that being said, the Bills aren't going to be the favorite in that game, but they're going to certainly try their best as they kind of sneak a win away from the Jets here. Oh. Bills are going to run it again. Not sure what they're doing, but either way, Josh Allen's moving on. Sam Darnold on the bench. He's not. Allen wins this one in the Allen versus Darnold. So, with that being said, we'll see y'all hopefully doing the next game here. Maybe we'll see some of these teams we saw in the Super Bowl. You got anything else to add here, Swayze?
No, just two close games. Just what you want to see, in the playoffs. Hate to see blowouts.
Yeah, no blowouts though on the other side.
Yeah.
Jets says technically I have another timeout, right?
Don't really have rules established for that.
Yeah, just kind of screwed over by Madden on that one. That's an unfortunate way to end it.